Hello lovely people, welcome to my channel. So if you're new here, my name is Tsungie. If you're a regular, welcome back. Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you how to crochet if you're an absolute beginner and you like to know how to crochet, or you would like to just learn a new hobby. Maybe you're under quarantine or lockdown and you just want to learn a new hobby. So I'm going to show you how to crochet. So crochet looks complicated, but once you get to know how to hold your hook and your yarn together, you're going to see that it's actually quite easy, right? So I'm going to show you how to do that. And so before I do that, if you'd like to support me, please do subscribe and do turn your notification bell. Okay, let's just get right into the video. Okay, so before I teach you how to crochet, I'm going to start with the things that we use to crochet. So we use a crochet hook and they're different sizes. So you've got 2 millimeters, got 3, 2.5, you've got 3, this is a 6, this is a 5. So the bigger they are, this is a 10 millimeter. Usually the size is written on the crochet hook. Then you've got the small ones here that are attached, and use these ones, you can use them when you're traveling because they're easy. You can just put them in your bag. Okay, so after you know your hooks, the second thing that I'm going to show you is that when you buy your yarn, at the back of your yarn, usually they will tell you what size hook to use. So for instance, for this yarn, I'm supposed to use a size 4 millimeter hook, right? So if I use a size 6 millimeter hook, what it means that my whatever I'm crocheting will have more spaces or more gaps. Okay, so let's just get into it. Right, so when you're starting to crochet, the first thing that you need to do is to know how to hold your hook. I recommend that if you're starting, buy these aluminium hooks because they won't break, and usually when you're starting, you'll be holding your hook so tightly, and this is the most comfortable. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to teach you is how to hold your hook. Some people hold it like this, some people hold it like that. There is no right or wrong way of holding it, but the simplest explanation I can give you is like holding it like a knife, and the movement that you're doing is usually forwards, turning your hook up and turning your hook down. Usually that's your the movement of your hook. Next, I'm going to show you how. So usually when you see a lot of YouTube tutorials, you're going to see a lot of people doing slip knots, right? So it's just adjustable knot. Okay, so if you put your yarn on the floor or on the table, make an upside down C, put the shortest yarn, this one, on top of it like this. So right, this is the long yarn. Okay, put your finger inside, right, grab the long yarn with your finger like that and just hold on to that, right? With your other hand, grab on, with the other hand, take the short yarn and the long yarn and hold them together like this, then pull this one here. That is a slip knot. Another simple way of doing it, take your yarn, wrap it like this, an X on this side and then the other side, pull the one at the front, push it to the back, and grab the one that's now in front and pull, then release your finger and you formed a slip knot, right? So that is right. If you think if a slip knot is hard for you, simply take your hook, right, like this, put your hook like this and simply twist like this, then hold on to that part. Okay, so when it comes to now to number 1, then put your hook inside that slip knot and adjust it to your hook like this, right? Okay, let's get to how to hold your yarn. So you hold your yarn, some people hold it like a knife, some people hold like this. Hold it the way that's comfortable to you. that's comfortable to you. Right, then when it comes to your yarn, when you're a beginner, usually you can wrap your yarn on your finger, on this finger here, like this, maybe 4 times. Then you put the one that's remaining just in between these 2 fingers, like this. Okay, so just try to do that. Then after that, with this finger and your thumb, hold on to your knot. Right, so to start crocheting, holding it like a knife, you're going to move forward, you're going to go up a little, you're going to turn your hook to face down, and you're going to move backwards. Right, now you're close to this loop here, so you want to go inside this loop here, so keep moving backwards. Right, so you've just chained. Release one loop. Right, hold on to where you have just crocheted. Again, don't worry too much about this hand, just worry about one hand. Okay, so move forwards, go up a little, turn your hook to face down, and move backwards. Again, pass through that loop like this. Release another one loop. Okay, so if you want your chain to be loose, you just pull it. Right, if I want it to be tight, you just pull it, pull the yarn. Okay, so let's do it again. Forwards, go up a little, turn your hook to face down, and move backwards. Right, so if you're worried about the yarn being loose, right, I'll show you another way. This is how I crochet. So I just put yarn on this finger, then I put it in between these 2 fingers like this. Right, so if I'm holding it with one hand, this is how it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to start the movements again. Forward, go up, forward, go up a little, turn your hook to face down, and move backwards. Pass through that loop like that. Okay, so the trick is when you're crocheting, of course, if you think about it, if you're putting there's one hand that you need to be focusing on. In this case, I'm using my right, so my right hand is the one that I am using to crochet. So that's the one that that I'm going to be focusing on. The one that has the yarn, don't worry too much about it. You're just holding the yarn loosely. Right, so when you hold this part, you're kind of like tightening, right, and you kind of like pointing your finger, right, like you're pointing forwards. Okay, then you move forward, you grab it, let's move forward, go up a little, turn your hook to face down, and move backwards. Okay, right, then you hold the next part. To make it tight, point your finger like this. Okay, let's move forward, go up a little, turn your hook to face down, and move backwards. Right, so if you practice just doing that, that is the first step. If you know how to hold your yarn and how to just do those simple movements, those simple movements are the basis of crocheting, and we'll use those movements in different stitches. Okay, so I hope you learned something. Right, yeah, another thing when you're a beginner, when you're starting as a beginner, it is advisable to start with a size 5mm hook or a size 6mm hook. This is simply because if it's bigger, it'll be easier for you to handle, unlike if you're using a yarn like that is as thin as this with a very tiny hook, right, it will make it even more difficult for you. So, and the only reason why I'm using t-shirt yarn is so that you guys could see what I'm doing. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you learned something. Okay, see you in my next videos.